Okay, welcome everybody. Just here with our checkup on the markets. See how everything's been tracking over the start of the week. So a little bit of a few moves, choppy kind of moves, especially on FX. We've seen some decent volume go through, and we've seen equities do a little bit, not much, pretty tight ranges. And somewhat a little bit of activity in the fixed income and bond space. So we kicked off Monday in Asia, at least, following on from some news and some data out of the US relating to inflation expectations. So what's interesting to note here is that the 5 to 10 year inflation expectations jumped quite significantly above forecast. It was up at 3.2%. Compared to the forecast here at 2.9. So the long-term inflation expectations, it's quite a critical one because it shows that inflation may be sticky and still above that comfortable threshold that the Fed wants to implement. And this expectation, as you can see, over this duration of time has always been quite low. But it's not until the last sort of 2 to 3 years we've seen it spike, and it's actually reached a 12-year high. I'm not sure if it'll allow us to go back that far in the piece, but yeah, it's reached a 12-year high. So that was reason for concern for the market, and we saw bonds rally quite heavily on Monday, and Friday, the last day of trade in the US, and then we saw, however, we did see FX jump back. We saw the Aussie dollar, at least, we saw it jump back. It declined quite heavily on Friday, but Asia's open. I think the market sort of saw it as a bit of an overreaction, and it brought back some of those losses. So this is yesterday's session here. So it sold off and it opened back here Monday and climbed back up. Obviously, another different story here so far today for Tuesday. So today's big event was Chinese data. So historically, we get data from China is usually pretty much bang on the forecasted the forecasted number. However, recently there've been upside and downside surprises, more so downside surprise than it was no different today. We saw industrial production was well down, and retail sales actually did jump a little bit, but the market sort of focused more so on industrial production. Can see here that the property investment wasn't too bad, but this is sort of the main number here, and the Chinese yuan declined pretty heavily, and Aussie dollar did so as well. You can see there when that number came out, dropped down quite heavily, and declined somewhat again as London came online. So that's sort of the tale of the tape so far today. Commodities bouncing back yesterday, but off the back of the data today, the mood turned a little bit sour. Iron ore and copper were both down. Iron ore had a pretty good day yesterday, helping lift the commodity currencies such as CAD and the Kiwi and Aussie dollars. You can see here that the American markets have opened in the red, likely off the back of some of the data we saw today, and fixed income and bonds yields up 1.5 basis points in the US. UK is down a little bit. Saw some different data going on over there. Euro speakers are coming out and saying they may not hike any further. And in Australia today, bonds are sort of pretty much unchanged, apart from the Kiwi, who lifted 8.3 basis points. Interesting to note here too that the European markets are doing quite well on the open as well today. compared to the US. So that looked like they might be able to close out with a gain, but we'll see how the session progresses. So yeah, that's all for the opening couple days of trade for the week. As I mentioned, it's a pretty light on day for data. Retail sales in the US will be coming out, I believe, Wednesday. So we'll see what that brings. But apart from that, not a lot to report. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll speak next time.